So I'm at Rustic Relics, which is in Clanton, Alabama. It's my favorite store in the world. If you follow me at all, you already know this. And I want to do a project with my Joy. You know, Melody and I are doing our collab together. And I don't know what it's going to be, but I thought I'd come in here and try to get some inspiration. I want a Christmas project, thinking maybe centerpiece. And I thought I'd bring you along as a hunt. I always love walking around this booth because they have so many different things. Like, it's not just one kind of thing in here. There's all fancy and there's all rustic, all mixed together. You just never know when I might find what I'm looking for. I think I'm looking for, well, something like that. That little wooden box. I think something like this that I can vinyl on. I don't think that's for sale though, because it's holding their cards, but something similar. I'm going to keep looking. I want to do like maybe jars in it. I don't know. We're going to let everything tell me what I want. We're going to let something pop out at me. Speaking of popping out at me, let me show you something. I'm in love with this tub. I have loved this tub since the day I saw it for the very first time. I think a Christmas tree coming out of that would be the most beautiful thing ever. Always loved that guy. So I'm back to my craft room, and this is what I ended up purchasing. This metal long tray, this little basket, which I think is so cute. That candelabra, I don't know about that one. We'll see what we can do with it. And then also that piece there. I'm excited about this piece because I have a plan for it. Now, because I'm doing a series with Melody, today I'm going to do this guy for today's video. And then I think next week you'll see me do this one because I got a plan for it. And we'll just work our way through these guys. So let's get started. So you guys are going to struggle seeing this whole piece, but I love this tin and I got it for such a good price. And here's what I'm going to do. I want to put Merry Christmas on the side right here, or Let It Snow or something. I don't know, I haven't got that far yet. But first I want to measure it because I want to put this out of my way so I can get to working. So notice how it's got this little like sprayed paint little trim on it. I want to go inside of there. And if I go right underneath it and right above it, I get 3 inches, roughly 3 inches in there that I can work with for height. And if I lay my ruler here, that's pretty good because from here out, it starts to curve. And I don't know, I can add some, you know, frilly designs or something if I want to. But I kind of think if I stay in the 3x12 situation, I'll get a really pretty word, whatever I'm going to put on there. So that's how I measure. That's how I do my pieces. Instead of using like a template or something in Design Space, I just measure it and make myself a template. For this video, I'm going to try to do it on my iPad. A lot of you guys tell me use your iPad or your phone, and I thought rather than using the computer, I would see how this goes. I've never made a project this large on here, but it's a pretty simple project, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal. So I'm going to hit New Project, and the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to Shapes and choose Square. Now I'm going to edit that square, and down here at the bottom, I need to click on it so it knows what I'm editing. Down here at the bottom, I'm going to change the size. So you know I had 12 inches in width, and I want to do 3 inches in height, but I'm going to have to unlock it by hitting the little lock there, and I want to put 3 inches and let that do its thing. Now you can see, if I move my screen over here, you can see this is my work surface. Now what I'm going to do is change this color. It's a little too dark. I don't really want it to be that dark, but I don't mind it being kind of gray because the piece I'm using is kind of gray. So let's try that again and hit apply. There we go. So a little silver is fine. Now to images. Let's just see. All right, I'm going to do a search and I'm going to do Merry Christmas. I really want this on my kitchen table. I have a plan for it. I think it'll be pretty as my centerpiece on the kitchen table. So I kind of know that's what I'm leaning for. Love this one. I'm going to tap it just to see. That one's great. And then I've used that one up there before. Let me scroll through. This is what could take a while. So let me do this and then we'll get back together. So I've been through a lot of images, and the one I liked the most was the one I saw first. Look how many I've been through. Look, that's a lot, but I like to go through them because I'm always afraid I won't pick my favorite. I really do like this one, but I also found another one. I'm going to insert these and let you see what I chose. I don't remember tapping that one. Let me take that out of there. Okay, so the first one that I liked was this guy right here, and look how well that would fit in there. Isn't that pretty? That's the first one I liked. Then this one, let me shrink this guy down. There we go. So let's grab and shrink. Ooh, it's not locked. Let me undo that. Undo, tap, lock. Always keep it locked. If you don't, it's not going to size correctly. Look how gorgeous that is. Now it says Merry and Bright instead of Merry Christmas, which I could edit that, but I really like that. I think that looks good. Let me get rid of that word right there but look how pretty that fits, and I think it'll be really pretty on the tin itself, because it's kind of exactly what I was looking for. And I have this red vinyl, or should I do white? Ooh, now I don't know. I was gonna do red, but now I'm thinking that white would really pop on that silver. Let me look. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna do red. So I'm gonna tap on this little guy right here and change the color to red, just so I can kind of see what it's gonna look like, just to give me an idea. That's beautiful. I'm going to get rid of this dude. And that's it, y'all. That's how fast that is. So now I know this is the right size, because remember, I gave myself the parameters to fill up, but I don't need that square anymore, that rectangle anymore. So I can tap this and pull it up. I know that's the right size, and I can get rid of this because I don't need it at all. Now we can make it. All right, I'm gonna make it without a mat because I'm using my smart material. Could this get any easier? Now, one thing I am gonna do, I noticed this is down like an inch. I don't wanna waste an inch of vinyl. I'm gonna see, oh, it doesn't let me. So I'm having to stay in, this will stay an inch down. I can move side to side to a point, but I need to stay that inch down. And maybe that's just what I'm seeing, I don't know. So I'm gonna say continue. And now I need to select my joy, which I think is asleep. Let me bring it over. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna use the red smart vinyl. Is this actually just red? Let me read the color so you'll know. It's the permanent version, and it is called Tomato Red. That's the one we'll be using. I'll link all of this in the description so you'll have it. All right, so let me tell it that I wanna use that material. So I'm gonna say smart vinyl, which is going to be Smart Vinyl Permanent. That's the one I want to make sure I pick. And it's telling me to load it. What it's doing here is it's feeding out enough material, or feeding out the material to make sure I have enough to make the project, so you won't ever get started and not have enough loaded, which I think is great. Now I'm going to tap go. You guys, this project might possibly, like, shopping might be the longest part of this, because it took me longer to go to the store and pick out my little tray than this is even possibly gonna take. What great gifts could we make, right? All right, I'm gonna let this cut out, and then we're gonna put it onto the tin. Okay, this guy is done. I'm gonna unload. And you'll be able to see it, I think, on screen. Yeah, look at there, see, you can see it. All right, I'm gonna cut this piece away. Now, the first thing I need to do is weed this guy. And there are little places inside of our letters. That's not my pokey tool. Let me get the pokey tool. Little places inside of our letters that need to come off. So I'm going to run through and take these out. When you're weeding, what you're doing is you're removing, I don't know if I guess it's the negative space. I'm thinking that's right, because it's the part that won't have anything in it. So you see how I'm just lifting them and then just putting my finger there and just picking them up. It's not hard. Your finger will just kind of catch it like so. Okay, now I'm going to be taking this big section out of the middle here. And, oh, it looks like I'm going to take the whole piece off. Now, let me tell you something. This seems a little wasteful even to me, because I am going to be losing all of this. So I would suggest go ahead and line some other stuff up here to cut, like if you had some other things to do, and not waste that bit of vinyl that we're fixing to kind of not need. Look how easy that weeds. Oh, my goodness. Wow, I was kind of worried about all these fine little details. Uh-oh, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Let's lay that little guy back down. Go slow and pay attention, you guys, because you don't want to have to do this again, especially considering how much of this I'm not using. We do not want to have to do it again. Another thing you can do, which I should have done, but I just got excited and got started, is you can run you can leave that rectangle we had on, and it will cut just around this image. And when you do that, it'll leave that strip of red here, because you'll basically have a rectangle around here that you'll be cleaning. I didn't do it. I think it's called a weeding, what do people call it? A weeding square, or weeding shape, or something like that. You can totally do that. I'll teach you that in another video. I should have done it this time and didn't think about it. Oh, look how good. So pretty. I'm sad that I did that with the red here, but I'll know better next time. So again, here, I want to show you what I'm talking about. Before you cut this, do a rectangle like we had. Just leave that rectangle all the way around it, and then you'll only be peeling out inside that rectangle, and all of this red will be left. I should have done it. I didn't do it. So I know some of you guys are going to be upset with me about wasting that vinyl, and I agree. I don't love it either. All right, let's do some transfer tape. I do love all of this stuff that fits together. I love that. Let's cut this guy off right down here. And you want to save this backer on this transfer tape because you can put your transfer tape back. All right, so I've got my piece here and I've turned it facing me because I think it will help me with this part. So I'm going to lay this down. It's very staticky and it's very ready to lay down. So just be mindful of that and just kind of get yourself started and work your way out. It'll be easier if you do it that way. Great. Now then, I'm going to take this little guy. This is that new kind of Teflon bone folder type thing we have, but it has this rounded edge and I wanted to see how this would work because it slides so well. Like it doesn't catch because it's Teflon. And I think this might do even better than my Cricut thingy. You know, like Shannon's in the room with me. You know that Cricut thing you can sometimes catch because it's not rounded? Like don't use the flat side, but use that round side. That works really good. Look, it's not catching on anything. I'm not worried about grabbing anything. All right, let's see. A lot of people say they struggle getting this onto the transfer tape. I don't know that I'm gonna struggle because it felt like, oh look, don't talk about stuff you don't know. Okay, it felt like it was gonna come off pretty easy, but look, I am having a little bit issues here and there. So I'm just gonna take my time. The little berries are wanting to be persnickety. All right, let's give this a go. I had to stop and rub it again because some of my little berries were really not wanting to come up. All right, I got that off, but I'm gonna tell you something. That was not the easiest transfer tape I've ever used. That is the Cricut, what is this one called? Just transfer tape? Maybe I should have used the Strong Bond because there is a Strong Bond one too, but that was not the easiest job. I gotta be honest about that. So I might go back to what I know and love, to my contact paper, which is my favorite. All right, I'm gonna try to center this. I am the worst at centering because I won't measure. But if it's off center, guess what? We'll know it's handmade. It might be off center. Feels like it might be a little bit, but we're going with it. So I'm gonna rub this down. This is probably gonna be loud. I'm gonna do this with maybe music or something so you don't have to hear it because it's kind of tink, tink, tink like that. So it'll be quiet for a minute or either you'll have music. Now I'm gonna try to remove this part using a trick that I learned from a friend of mine that worked at a sign shop. Her name is Christina. You guys might remember Honey Bunny's wife. She told me whenever peeling off to lay your transfer tape flat. See how I'm pushing it flat with my finger? She said just to lay it flat. Uh-oh. Little bitty vine right there is not wanting to lift off. I hope I don't have the same issue I had a while ago because it was not fun. And it looks as though I might be having that same issue. Maybe it's just this little tiny vine. Let me see if I can help it out. All right, so I came from the other direction because that little guy right there was really giving me some issue. But now it looks like it's doing okay. Should I not speak? Should I just do it and see? I don't want to jinx it. All right, so I'm gonna keep going. Okay, there were a couple of spots that gave me fits. Oh my goodness, look how cute this is. I really like it. It's a little bit crooked and a little bit off, but that's me. If I don't do that, there's something wrong. If I get it perfect, it's not right. But it's not bad. I really love how the red looks on here. And it really was fairly easy. I'm not a fan of the transfer tape. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I will go back to using my standard favorites after this. But that is this project. I think I paid $12.99 for this. I can't remember. I'll have to look back and see, but I think I paid $12.99 for this little tin, and then I was able to put that Miriam Bright on there for just a little bit of nothing, honestly, because that vinyl, I barely used any of that vinyl. And so now I can make my centerpiece in here, and it'll be so pretty on my table. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was super easy using the app. By the way, I moved my laptop out of the way because it messes with the color. So look, we finished. I'm gonna say continue. And then if I want to save this, I can always save this before I move on. But I'm done. That's it for me. So there you go, a quick, easy transformation. I love how this looks. I actually think I probably could have gone longer, but I chickened out. I could have gone longer, but I still think it looks really good. All right, guys, don't forget, this is a collaboration with Melody Lane. So be sure to go to the link in the description and check out Melody's channel. Give her a subscribe and a like and let her know you're appreciating all the Joy content this month. And we'll be back next Saturday. And I think one more after that. I think we only have 2 more after this video. So I hope you enjoyed this one. And next week, we'll use some of the more cool things I got from Rustic Relics. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great one. Bye now.